Everybody, Dan Illman, Mike Beer, two stakes races on tap at Gulfstream Park on Friday for 2-year-olds. Let's begin with a look at the Colt division, race number 10. Here's the field for the $75,000 Pulpit Stakes. We're going a mile on the grass. It is a full field. It is a competitive race, and it's kind of weird watching synthetic prep races, Mike, when doing your replay work at Gulfstream.
It is going to take some getting used to watch horses run over that surface. I mean, I guess when it comes down to this race, Dan, at least the way I looked at it, I kind of felt like the morning line favorite in this race, the number 5 Red Danger. I feel like you just have to sort of start there and feel like if he just shows up and runs his best race, he's probably the horse to beat. And, do you think anybody can really just take the step forward they need to take to beat him?
I think he's doubtlessly the horse to beat. He's already a stakes winner on turf, stakes placed on dirt. And as we see from the Timeform US pace projector, the 5 Red Danger could be sitting behind a fast pace, and that would set things up for him. The last time we saw Red Danger on turf was in the Bourbon, where he made an early move right into the teeth of that pace, Mike. It's completely understandable that he got tired late, and he was in against a good horse in Tiz the Bomb.
Yeah, I mean, he ran well in that race against a better field than this one, a much better field than this one. And then he came back and ran well again on dirt. I mean, he's just very clearly the horse to beat. We'll see if anybody can improve.
Now, a horse stretching out with some speed is down toward the rail. That's the number 1, Biz Biz Buzz, who is a debut winner coming from off the pace at Laurel. They've tried stakes competition with him in his next 2 starts. I thought his futurity was okay. The Atlantic Beach last time out, do you think it was a situation where maybe he was too close to the pace because he kind of disappointed as the favorite?
Yeah, I don't know what to say about his last race. He was awful in there, and you can't really give him the excuse of being too close to the pace because the winner wired the field. So I mean, he was right up there with the horse that wound up winning the race, and he was terrible through the stretch. I'm with you. I thought his futurity was just okay, and I was interested in him in that race at 10-1 off of what I thought was a pretty good-looking debut at Laurel. I still think he has a little bit of talent there, but now he's got to stretch out, and he's going to have to rebound off of a very poor performance last time in a race where he might not be much price.
Like the 5 Red Danger, the 2 Eldon's Prince has acquitted himself very well on different surfaces. He is a stakes winner on dirt, a win last time out in the Armed Forces, and then this victory on turf 2 starts back. This was the Proud Man Stakes. He wins it as a maiden. As a second-time starter, you see him sweeping to the lead, and it's up, up, and away.
Yeah, I mean, he wins this race pretty easily at the end. When I watched this race, I sort of found myself wondering what might have happened if the 4, who's down there on the rail right now, Fulton Street, would have gotten through when he was trying to come through on the rail on the turn. He got stopped. This horse took over and then pulled clear at the end. I don't really want to knock him too much. He's run fine in both of his turf races. I do wonder how good he is.
See My Meister has won around 2 turns on turf at Gulfstream Park, then was stakes placed when the beaten favorite. Interesting blinkers on in that race at Colonial. Let's watch his last race at Gulfstream. This is one of those synthetic stakes races, and Mike, he has had no chance the way this race played out. Look at the fractions. They went 50-3 for the half. This horse must have been in the 5 path turning into the stretch. He's a little bit green, but he stays on for 3rd.
He does stay on and gets a piece of this at the end. I won't hold this race against him. It's his prior 2 races on turf that make me just, wonder how good he is. I know that he won one of those races, but it was a very slow race here at Gulfstream. I didn't think he ran that great as the favorite in the Kitten's Joy at Colonial either. I don't know, Dan. I just don't know how good this horse is.
He did finish behind 2 next out winners in the race we just showed you. The winner of the race coming back to take a starter optional with a 71 buyer. Kit-Toe Don is up next, trying turf for the first time. He's got the pedigree for it by point of entry out of an AP Indy mare. So you don't worry about distance. You don't really worry about surface, and you don't worry about the hopeful, a race in which he was completely overmatched.
Yeah, right. He's supposed to handle turf, as you mentioned. He's by point of entry. This is a huge female family. His second dam is Divine Proportions, who was a multiple Group 1 winner. It's a top filly over in France, which I guess begs the question, Dan, how'd they get this horse for $9,000? I don't know. If he's some kind of huge price, I could see throwing him in there as he makes his turf debut.
And here's the horse to beat, the 5 Red Danger, 5-2 on the morning line. A stakes winner at Kentucky Downs, ran very well, as we mentioned, in that Bourbon, and quite all right last time out on dirt, Mike. I mean, just fits well from a class perspective. Looks like the race flow is going to come the right way. Has very competitive buyer speed figures. Brian Lynch found a great spot for this horse. 5-2 is a very fair price.
Nothing to add to that, Dan. I don't think we're going to get 5-2, but I would argue that if you do, you're probably just supposed to bet this horse. He's a little bit of a standout in here.
Fast and Steady is the 6, a winner at Gulfstream 3 starts back. Fair to say they aimed a little bit high in the Bourbon 2 back when finishing well behind Red Danger, then just didn't get out of his own way on dirt last time out. Not worried about the dirt. This is a turf horse, but not sure he's this good.
Yeah, I wasn't sure either. His win against Maidens there, 3 starts back, I guess he ran fine. That they got a really good trip and got the job done. I didn't necessarily care for his performance behind Eldon's Prince back in August, but that was just his second career start. He was still a maiden then.
Josie Carroll is a very good trainer, bringing horses down from Woodbine, and the 7 Duke of Love was a professional and popular debut winner at 2-1. Let's watch that race. 5.5 furlongs at Woodbine on their Tapeta surface. Loved the way this horse dove down inside on the turn, wasn't phased at all by being placed in a little bit tight on the rail, and once he shoots on through, this race is over. Very respectable 77 buyer and enough turf and distance pedigree for me.
Yeah, me too. I really like this debut win. I like the position that he got early, and I'm with you. I like the way he came through on the inside and posted a very easy win that day. A lot of turf and distance on the damn side. I don't know about the Cupids on the grass, Dan. Maybe you have a better grasp on that than I do. I'm kind of going to be surprised if he's a good turf sire, but we'll see. He's still young. He's actually got some runners from his first crop.
Too early to tell. He's only had a handful of runners, Cupid, but Duke of Love to me just looks like the kind of horse that's going to appreciate the turf. Sport Pepper is going to appreciate getting back to turf as well. This horse has speed, and he's going to be forwardly placed. They ran him in a stake on dirt against Red Danger last time out. It's probably not his best surface, even though he pulled off an upset at Keeneland 2 starts back. His race 3 back on the turf was okay, Mike, and he did beat a next out winner.
Yeah, I agree with that. He ran fine in that race, and he has really good speed, which I suppose makes him a little bit dangerous in here. Danny backed up the turf win with a win on dirt right on the front end again. I know he was bad last time, but I don't think you have to hold that race against him.
Connections are going to be asking a lot for the 9, Always Gambling, stretching out 3 furlongs in his first start against winners and his first start on turf, and all this off of a perfect trip victory. Let's watch the 5/8 of a mile race at Gulfstream, where he just maneuvered himself into the pocket. You see the big split in between horses, and as the odds-on favorite, he's supposed to go by this horse, and it takes him a little while to do so, but he does get it done. The young sire Tamarcuz thus far has done pretty well with his turf horses. This is the Tis Now family, so distance shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, he does have enough pedigree, I think, to go on here. It's a tough. They're asking a lot of him here to stretch out 3 furlongs right off of a maiden win, but he's actually run well in both of his starts on synthetic. It looks like he can run a little bit, and he's going to be a fair price.
The 10 Baroni Chesco really is only one bad race came in the Skidmore at Saratoga, a race scheduled for turf. It was washed off, and he just didn't do anything against a very, very fast filly, Averly Jane. The subsequent races on turf and synthetic are okay. There's a little bit of distance on the bottom of the pedigree, but I have to admit, I'm a little concerned about the mile right now.
I'm a little concerned about it too. It's not like, he's been finishing, super strongly in his shorter races. That being said, listen, he won first time out at a price when he was able to make the lead. I would argue that he was probably best in the Hollywood Beach 2 starts back. He just, happened not to get up after having to steady on the backstretch.
And we'll watch his most recent start again over the new Tapeta surface. It was a short field, only a field of 6. So we're going to see Baroni Chesco get up for second in here. A solid enough performance. I think he's better on the turf than he is on synthetic or dirt. I would expect an improved effort, and I think he's going to probably set a decent enough trip behind the speed of the 8 Sport Pepper, and also the horse we're going to talk about right now, the number 11 Concrete Glory, who has a ton of early speed, is coming into this race off a 3-race win streak. He's going to try turf for the first time and going long as well.
Yeah, you're going to have to stretch out with all that speed that he's been showing lately. It'll be interesting to see how far he can carry it. I mean, it's not like there's no other speed in the race, Dan. So I didn't necessarily see him, clearing off and taking this field wire to wire, but he's run 2 fast races in a row.
It's a lousy post position, but I don't want to write off the 12 Speaking Scout, who in his one race at Saratoga just caught a very good field. The 3rd place finisher coming back to run second in a stake at Monmouth with an 80 buyer speed figure. He's run well in his 2 subsequent starts when they were washed off of the turf. I think turf is going to be okay for Speaking Scout. It's just whether he can work out a trip from way out there.
Yeah, we'll see what kind of trip he gets. I mean, it does feel like there's enough pace in here to maybe set up a run for him. I was sort of conflicted about his 2 turf races, Dan. I thought he ran, okay, I guess, in his Colonial debut for his first trainer. He was a little green in that race, and maybe that cost him at the end. I mean, I didn't love the ride that he got in the Saratoga race. I also didn't think that he ran that well. I don't know if he was going to be around that 10-1 morning line. I'll probably try to use him somewhere, but I'm not sure how good this horse is.
Top pick time for the Pulpit. Red Danger is the horse to beat, the number 5 off the form. We're going to try to take some stabs against. Duke of Love, just to me, looks like he has a tremendous amount of upside. I respect the connections and the pedigree, and the price might be okay, Mike.
Yeah, I thought so too. That's why I'm going to take a shot with him. I'm just going to hope he can build off of his debut, which I liked quite a bit. He does have enough turf pedigree for me to take a shot. Red Danger, way the horse to beat. I think he's going to be short though.
Duke of Love will be my second selection. Always Gambling does have to do a lot. Stretching out, switching to turf, facing winners. Like that he was able to pair up respectable 70 buyers. Looks like he's got a little bit of tactical speed. He'll be a price, and he's got a little bit of distance in his pedigree. 7-5-112 for Mike, 9-7-5-12 for me. It's the Pulpit, one of 2 stakes races for 2-year-olds on turf at Gulfstream on Friday. Good luck.